Howdy, I'm Michelle. I've been talking about true love, falling in love. Yay, amen, Pastor Bacon. There's a process. Now it is very intricate a little bit. Basically, what I had to do to have a truly successful, loving relationship, you have to eliminate as many triggers in your life as possible. What's a trigger? A trigger is something, a word, a sound, a song, a phrase, a sign of something that's happened to you in your past that was good or bad. That's a trigger. Now, everybody has triggers, okay? Some people's triggers are because their mom's dead, or their dad is dead, or their girlfriend left them, or their wife died, or their children are bad, or, they have triggers. So you can talk about things and people will pop up when you hit a trigger. Be it a good trigger. Like one time I said cool beans in the chat room one time, and this guy was like, man, I ain't heard that in years. Who told you that? I was like, I've always said it. That was a good trigger. There's another guy in the chat room, and I was talking about somebody. Now, I wasn't talking about, I was just, adding my yeses and agreeing and all that kind of stuff. Something about children, and it was a trigger for another man who was going through a hard time with the mother of the child because she was, torturing him by, denying him access to his child. That was a trigger for him. It upset him. So, each of us, some of us have a rape trigger. Some of us have a I feel ugly trigger. Some of us have a nobody likes me trigger. Some of us have, you understand what I'm saying? Triggers. You have little issues, you have things in your life that are, in your mind, flaws or negative, and instead of you releasing them and being free of them, you stew and you dwell on them. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm going to teach you a little bit of math. If you think bad things, if you constantly think about bad crap, you are going to feel bad. Ain't no two streets about it. If you think about good things, you're going to feel good. One of the things that I have on my YouTube page, whatever, is comedy and little babies and animals, especially baby animals. Oh, babies. So, because I have to smile. And smiling and music and dancing and singing help when there are mean, negative, unloving, ungodly people around. Now, I have manners. I could be a bitch if I want to. I get my license renewed every year. But I don't want to use it. I just have it in case. I was a Girl Scout. I come prepared. Okay, so you got triggers. Okay, if your mom or your dad or your auntie or your uncle or your grandma or your grandpa, or you didn't have nobody, or you were a foster child, or you were adopted, or you lived in an orphanage, these are triggers. These are things that cause you sadness and sorrow. What you have to do with those triggers, and this is not easy, you have to actually walk yourself through those situations again, only instead of being at the age you were, you have to be at the age you are. That means you have to go through and say, okay, yes, that hurt, but I made it. Yes, that was wrong of me. No, I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong. Yes, that hurt me and that caused me to blah. Do you understand? You have to walk through all that stuff. Now, in my life, I was beat up, raped, tortured, everything. And I had to, at the time, because I had to get up the next morning and do everything, I had to get through those things. But when I started writing all this stuff down for this book that I was asked to write, when I started writing all this stuff down, you know, I have some that I have to transpose from handwriting to my actual tablet to complete the book. And it's the hardest stuff that I wrote first, because I wanted to get it out of my system first. Because if you feel bad about yourself, then that's kind of like a chink in your armor. And that chink, you can worry that chink until it's a gash. And it's very hard to heal gashes in armor. So you have to be able to accept yourself. I'm lazy, I'm not dirty, and I'm not nasty. But if I can get away with not washing the dishes for 2 days, how about I do it? If I can get away with not taking a shower because I'm not leaving the house, how about I do it? Who's it hurting? It's not hurting anybody. If I know I'm going to have company, or I know I'm going out, I do whatever it takes for me to do whatever it takes to do whatever it takes. So my lazy is when I don't have nothing to do, I appreciate that time, and I don't just say, oh, let's get the cobwebs. I get them when I'm feeling like that. So you have to work on that stuff. My mom did all kinds of stuff to me. My family forsaked me. Forsook me. Forsaked me. I was forsaken by my family. My mother's family. I didn't know my father's people. Him was a Rolling Stone. Anyway, so you have to work through all your triggers. You have to accept who you were. You have to know who you want to be. And you have to be real about it, because how are you going to be something you're not forever? You can't. I want to be cool, but Goofy pops out. Stupid. But I laugh, so laughing ain't illegal. So although I would love to be, super cool, yeah, I can't. So, hard as a firecracker. Anyway, so, alright, so you work on the triggers. And while you're working on the triggers, you have to love yourself through it to get over it. Ooh, baby. It's him. I'll be right back. I love him so much. Oh my God. So anyway. Okay. So, now, you have to love yourself through all your triggers. You have to understand what went wrong, what was wrong, who was wrong, why it was wrong, what your part was in it, what you should do. So that you don't have those triggers. So that if there's a disagreement between you and your love, because you're not going to always agree, if there's a disagreement between you and your love, none of those triggers are going to work. Not that your true love is supposed to do that to you. But sometimes somebody can say a word or something, and it'll trigger. So if you have no triggers, then you have no triggers. And this takes time. And I did most of it. While he was gone. And I still am working on some of my triggers. But he's getting me there. And he's being very, 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 very patient. And I am so thankful and grateful for that, because it's enough stress. It's enough stress to go as many years as I went without love, to be presented with it and just say, "Oh, that's what it is." No, it didn't happen like that. And a lot of y'all will not know that it is love. What is that in my hair? Come here. I'm gonna walk around with fuzz in my hair. Yay. Hi, I'm here to entertain. No. Impress. No. I can't remember now. Never mind. I'm just playing. Anyway, so, okay. So, he's being real patient with me. And he's helping me by coming to see me and not staying so I can process stuff, because I can't think around him. All I can think of is that I love him so much, and I don't actually think, I just love him. Just, if he says something, sometimes I can say something like a little while ago, just a few minutes ago, we talked for a couple minutes, and, about love. So. But anyway, getting back. Alright, so, say you work through your triggers. And if you've worked through your triggers and you've loved yourself through, you have discovered that you have talents and gifts, things that people have remarked on. And you should focus on those. You should get you some more. Make yourself more varied, more variety. Variety is the spice of life. And I don't mean that in multiple partners. I mean that in multiple hobbies, multiple things that you can do or are accomplishing or attempting, and, goal-oriented, whatever, however you want to say it. So anyway. So you've eliminated the triggers, and you've loved yourself through, and you're loving yourself. One of the hardest things for me to do is be honest with myself, and that's why I told you all that I'm lazy. It's the only real thing that I have, other than I have a temper, but it's not a petty temper, but it is one that you do not wish to arouse. You just don't, because I don't believe in taking prisoners, because you have to feed them. And why would I want to feed somebody that's trying to hurt me? You made that up. I'm going to leave you on the side of the road. That's what you do. Just leave them. Just leave them. I'm not, you can't rain on my parade like that. That's not fair. That's not kind. That's not loving. And I don't have to be around anybody like that. For some reason, them people think that you have to be around me. You really don't. You really don't. They could go all hang together by themselves. They'd have a lot of fun. So anyway, you've released the triggers, and you've loved yourself through. Now, with love, real love for yourself, you will want to do for others. You will want to share the love that you feel with others so that they can feel love. Now, this is the part that I want to talk real fast about, because I gotta stop here in a second. When you start to love, it starts to bloom in your heart. And it gets sometimes to be so much that you got to give some away. Now, you don't know where your true love is. You don't know high, you don't know low. You don't know over, you don't know near. You don't know where your true love is. But your true love is walking around. Now, this is going for people that, are really wanting to do the honest to God work, because it will not work if you try to half-ass this. It will not work. And I'll tell you why in just a second.